Okay, so I know you guys have been thinking lately, like, Robert, you're mistreating your villagers. And you're absolutely right. I've been mistreating them, and I gave them a crap home after I promised them I was going to give them a good home in this series. And that's on me. Quick. So to make that up, I plan on building a tower right here. This tower is going to be super tall, and on each floor is going to be a different profession. So, for example, floor 1 is going to be library, and floor 5 or 6 or 6, 7, you know, is going to be the farmer floor. I'm already picturing this in my head. We need to get a bunch of resources for this. This is not going to be a small project. This is honestly going to be one of my biggest projects yet. So my plan for this is I kind of want to build like a modern city. So I need a lot of frog lights, a lot of glass, and a lot of concrete and quartz. That's going to be the main build here. I don't know if I want to consider it yet, but I might use tinted glass. I'm not sure yet. It's gonna be a pretty tall building. I think it's gonna be like 16 stories maybe. I don't know. It just depends on how many professions there are, but that means we need a whole lot of glass and a whole lot of concrete as the main building block foundation of it. And I preferably would love to get the glass first. Okay, I wasn't able to get a full shulker box full, but I got most of a shulker box, and if I went any further, yeah, the durability on my shovel would have exploded on me. So I think before I even approach the sand again, I'm gonna go and grab a lot of bone meal, because we're gonna need a lot of bone meal for this, like a lot. Before I went in the nether though, I smelted all my glass in the auto smelter. Ah, yes, now look at all this sexy glass. Now we have to go into the nether and we have to farm, a lot of bones. Alright, now that we made it to my wither farm, we're gonna farm a whole bunch of bones. So that's what I did for the next hour. I just farmed straight bones. Now I did get a lot of other stuff that we don't need, but we'll grab that later. And look at all these bones that we got. This is after 40 minutes, so that's pretty good. This is gonna be plenty for the video, trust me. Now we got the main ingredient for the concrete. Now we have to get 2 of the most AIDS items, which is sand and gravel. Before I started getting sand and gravel, I went ahead and went to the end and started searching for some shulker shells because I need more shulker boxes. I got 5 empty shulker boxes, right? This might be good enough for the concrete. It's probably not going to be enough. So the first part about the concrete is you need a bunch of sand. So I had to grab about a shulker box of sand and yeah, this took a really long time and I did not like that. And then the most difficult thing about this project is the gravel because of the flint that drops with it. So I had to get a shovel that did not have fortune to mine all this gravel as well. Holy crap, this beach doesn't exist anymore. Oh my god. We got all the resources now, which took me a substantially long time. We finally can start this build, which is great. So let's go ahead and put our shulker boxes down with everything in there and put down my makeshift crafting bench. I promise I'll pick it up later. I'm probably lying to myself. But the first thing we gotta do is clear out this area and make it a lot more flat. And there we go. We have a decently flat area for this build. It's going to be a pretty big build, I'm not going to lie. I need to get a general idea, like a layout of how we're going to build this. Now remember, this is going to be a modern futuristic tower. So it's going to be like, I don't know, just pull up a freaking stock image. It's going to have 16 floors or however many floors for the villager profession. So we got to make sure it's good. It could definitely be bigger. Time to restart. So then we get something looking like this, and I like it. Alright, so now we have the template of the building. Now we gotta work on the inside now. We gotta have an area where we're able to get up onto each and every story. This is our template for the stairs and the entire inside. So each and every floor will be filled with a different villager profession, such as librarians, farmers, etc. And we need one of everything. Before we get on with the build, we gotta get a whole bunch of dark oak logs because the floor is gonna be made of dark oak. Yeah, so I just completely eviscerated the forest, and yeah, now we have an entire shulker box of dark oak. We got something that looks like this, which it does look nice, and I see the potential. And that's the thing, this thing doesn't even have windows yet. Before we start building story on top of story on top of story, we need to get villagers over here. Luckily, there is a village behind me that's really close to this base, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna craft 10 million beds, and we're gonna make them, yeah, we're gonna make them freaky. Oh my god, it's working. They're getting romantic, and yeah, there we go. Free stuff. Before I move any villagers in here, I need to make this 3 stories higher. So, cue the montage. So let's just pause real quick. The next thing I had to do was I also had to get some deep slate because the exterior, aka the 3D form of this building, like the, I don't know what it's called, but I need to get deep slate for that so we can make it look a lot more like shaped. It doesn't look like one square. It just, you know, has a 3D shape to it. Now that we got everything that we need, we are looking at this. Now, I know it looks like a questionable thing, but it won't look like that soon, I promise. So the first thing we're gonna do with our first couple stories is we're actually gonna put a lot of glass in, because this is gonna be like a modern building. So it's going to look more like a mansion in a way. Okay, so here's our layout for all 3 floors. I know what you guys are asking, like, it looks bland as hell, and I agree, it really does look bland, which is why we're going to add the frame. That's what it's called. We're adding a frame to this entire thing. So then we have something that looks like this. Now, it's got a little bit of shape, but it's still missing something. And that's where the in-between floors goes in. So you see how there's a 3-block difference in between floors? So if we do something like this, then it's going to look absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut to what it looks like after the first floor. And boom. I really do like the look of this. It looks really nice. It took me about 15 minutes to do though because I'm not used to the build. I'm sure we'll get used to it. So now that we have the general idea of what this tower is going to look like, I think it's time that we start decorating floor by floor. Starting with the first floor here, which I want to make a librarian area. We have our first 2 villagers here. Now, this is the library level, and you guys must be wondering like how I'm gonna decorate it, and I will show you guys right now. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a sleeping quarters for them because that's what they need. And we officially have the bed area set up. Now this is how it's going to be on every single floor because I just want to have 2 dedicated areas. I need to get a bunch of bookshelves for this, and there's really no easy way to get a bunch of bookshelves. Actually, wait, there is. A woodland mansion. I really hope I can get a freaking woodland map first try. If it's a trial map, I'm going to hurt myself. Oh my god. Well, I pretty much just wasted all my time doing that. I'll worry about the bookshelves later. For now, let's just start decorating the first floor a bit. Okay, so it's pretty much designed. All we need is the bookshelves, which we will get later in the video. So we're going to go ahead and split this into phases. So I'm going to have the phases up here on screen right now. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to build the actual tower, which is going to be a total of 13 stories because each floor is going to be for each profession. Then we're gonna do the windows and do the outside decoration. And then we're gonna do the inside decoration. And then we're gonna get all the villagers in and then spam breed them. So we can have at least 10 villagers per floor. I am really low on gravel, and I've only made it up 7 floors, so I really hate my life. This should be enough, hypothetically, I think. Oh, that took absolutely forever, but you guys want to see the most satisfying part about this? Now the entire building, it's all turned into concrete now. So now the next thing we have to do is we gotta put all the windows in for 13 floors. I'm gonna hate my life. Now we gotta move on to the next part, which is gonna be the frame. And no, I'm not talking about this part of the frame, the advanced part, because I don't even think I have enough resources for it, to be honest. I'm talking about just like the basic pillars up. And then after, we'll figure that crap out. I don't even know. Well, I guess I'll be right back then. I'm gonna go grab Deep Slate. And there we go. We officially got the pillars done. And wow, I mean, the building's honestly looking really sexy so far. It's just gonna look even sexier whenever we have everything fully planned out. So instead of having to drag villagers to every floor with that small village, I'm thinking about putting villagers on this very top floor, having them all breed up there, and every 2 villagers, I'm just gonna knock down the floor. And I'm gonna be honest, that is like 10 million times smarter than the way I planned it, because if you guys are new to this channel, I'm a idiot. That is amazing. Wow. That worked really well. I'll solve this one later, but for now, this is just gonna be a giant breeding villager area. So as we continue to breed them, we're gonna go ahead and just start focusing on the outside style of the base and make this thing look more 3D. Hi guys, Editing Robert here. So in my final 2 clips that I have recorded for this entire video, my mic wasn't connected to OBS properly. So I was literally talking to myself for an hour. I'm basically going to summarize what happened here. So with this first part here, I ran out of wood. So I had to go and mine a bunch of wood. And then I finally started working on each floor to floor. And I'll just go ahead and show you guys up on screen. I am so sorry. But we'll just cue some cool compilation music with it. So every floor shared the same designs with the bedding and also with all the shelves. But obviously there's different rooms because, you know, there's different villager professions. Alright guys, so it is the next day after recording that video, and yeah, it really does suck that my 50 minutes of unedited footage turned out to be, you know, just sucky, right? There was no audio for my mic. Basically what I did is I recorded a short replay on screen of me breeding the villagers, and it took me a little minute to get them up on every floor, but I got at least 2 on every floor. Everything's all set, and it really does suck because it took me a little minute to get them up on every floor. And yeah, I totally let you guys down with that. If you guys enjoyed this video though, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. There is more hardcore videos on the way. This one took me a little longer to make because there's, you know, I had a lot going on between some other stuff and, you know, just busy stuff. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys. We're starting off 2026 with a blast. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!